to just another show. Guys, you've seen new faces today. So I'm Tina, just so if you don't know. But today we have a special guest.
What's up, girl? What's up?
Caroline. It's Carolyn. And of course, we have our second presenter. What's
up, guys? George or Zandi, or George is good. Don't Zandi. That's my mom.
And Cassius is with us in spirit. So today, guys, we're going on to the topic of fees must fall. It's happening. It's been happening this week. Universities have been shut down. There's a lot of agitation.
It's been happening everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Since even this time last year.
Yeah, I remember. But I'd like things are a bit different though this year. There's a little bit more anger, there's a little bit more violence, frustration.
I think the whole vibe of the protest is very different. And the reception from other people is very different.
Yeah.
I mean, in contrast, I felt like last year, a lot of people were more accepting of the movement. I think they decided, okay, this is a movement, it's fine. And I think this year, I mean, you can see in the reaction of some of the people, like there's a lot of anger. People, like some people just want to study, they want to get done, they finish with their degrees, So there's a lot of hostility towards this year's movement.
For me also, I feel like there hasn't been a lot of leadership. There hasn't been something that's driving the force.
I think there's a lot of leaders.
Yes, there isn't that one direction. Exactly.
Yeah.
And another person I spoke to the last time said that it seems like, as you said, there's a lot of leaders, but all of them want to kind of be on the cover of Destiny.
The guy at the front of the photo.
Yes, they want to be the one, and that's
this.
where the issue kind of lies. And then a lot of political agendas get involved, and that's also where it kind of goes down.
I remember in conversation at the beginning of the week when this first thing erupted, a lot of the people were saying we don't know what the objectives are of this movement. We don't know where the direction is. We don't know we don't know where to place this movement. Is it fees must fall? Is it zero education? What is going on?
Yeah.
So there's no clear objective this time. I think last time there was this memorandum released early in the week and there was a set of demands and people knew where to put the movement. But I think this time it's different.
Links also with what you're saying now, links with what's the right way to protest. Because now they're burning stuff, buildings and books. And what is the right way? Well, how do you do it? How do you protest the right way? Basically that's what I would like to know.
I don't know if there is a right way of protesting. You have to kind of make a noise, but the violence I think at sometimes is unnecessary. But how do you do it? How do you make people listen without causing some kind of...
Look what happened at WITS when people were just studying.
Yeah, I was there. The WITS, when people were studying and then they were lifting the desks and whatnot. Yeah, but I mean, it's happening all around. They want it to shut down. They want to make a statement. If you're not going to listen when I sign a petition, you're not, and that's kind of sad that we have to go to those kind of measures to get an education,
We were speaking just now, about education being a right or a privilege, and I would like to hear your point of view.
I think it's definitely a right in South Africa's context. I think because as a third world country, as a developing country, to develop the country further, you need to have people with an education.
At the moment, there's no structures in place to fix it. In terms of making education free, it's not. There's plans. They can do it, but but they're not doing it. So it's going to be impossible to make it free.
I think this is where the importance of the movement comes in. That people have demonstrated a demand for free tertiary quality education, and I think that needs to be prioritized. I'm very hasty to say it, but I don't think free education can happen in 2016.
So
not even in
not
20
yet, but I think what the students really want is to say, look, it can be done.
Yeah.
No one's saying anything. Everyone's quiet. That's
We
why
have the desire for free quality education. Please acknowledge us.
Yes,
help
they
us.
just want acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now you've managed to get into varsity. You've got to the place, the promised land.
Yeah.
How do you maintain your place there? Where do you live? What do you eat? How do you study?
And accommodation.
If we can make it cheap, why not make it cheap? My thing is with the free education that I think is one of the problems I have is in terms of people need to be paid. People need to be paid, and if they're gonna make it free, who will be that person paying? Nothing is free in life. Someone needs to pay. So my thing is just get a fair way, and I'm more than willing to help.
The announcement was earlier this week that the fees will increase to a maximum of 8%, and the universities get to decide to which point they increase them, but they're capped at 8%. Then the people on NSFAS don't pay the increase. The people who are in the missing middle, which is if your family doesn't earn more than 600,000 Rand an annum collectively, you don't pay the increase, and the rest pay the increase. So then the burden falls on the people who can afford to pay. 2016 for me is the beginning of free education.
It was an ANC thing, it's not a DA thing, but it's funny, it is, because they come in, those people, and they're like, hey, don't worry, you want to let's go, let's do this, burn that quick, fast. I'm not saying they're doing it, I'm just saying, what I've heard, don't come from my house, you know what I mean? But it is a political thing, people.
I think the ANC especially is very good at mobilizing people. They're very good at gathering people under one agenda and getting them to do something. And I think that's good. I think it's okay, but then please don't hijack it for your own agenda. This is a movement on its own. I think whether you're throwing a brick through a building, you're a person and you're throwing the brick for a specific reason. Sometimes you're being a vandal. I get it, but other times you are throwing that brick because you're so angry that people are not listening, and you have to do something, and you have to lash out physically, and then immediately that act gets separated from the movement that is within, and then all of a sudden the protesters are not protesters protesting for education and free access to education and access to education. They are vandals and they're breaking buildings and and then Facebook blows up and everything. And why? Humanize them. Realize that these people are fighting for something that means a lot to them.
Also, that's so interesting you say that, because now after varsity, I've been on the media side of the protest, and interestingly, no one sees the students as human at all. One of the times when the students were standing in a group, and because the protest was illegal and they weren't allowed to walk on that road, whatever, the cops just if they step out, will open fire. What?
These are people. These are students. These are someone's children.
Yeah. People are frustrated, and it's the amount of time. We're impatient. We want it now because we need to move forward. And also the Wits protest that I attended, they were saying they were looking for a kind of leader, someone to make sure that this is peaceful. But it was actually peaceful, and they were so angry at media because they were like, you guys are trying to make us look like criminals. No one's tweeting about how the protest is peaceful. No one's tweeting, but instead, as soon as a policeman shoots at us and then we retaliate, you get that, and now we look like the bad people.
The cameras only turn on when there's violence.
You know what I mean? So they don't document. But if I remember correctly, that protest was very peaceful. They got all the way to campus. There was a particular young lady who was leading and speaking to everybody, keeping everybody calm. But then obviously when it got to the end, they couldn't get into the building, and then a little bit of violence happened. But eventually,
I think that's frustration.
It's frustration. We've been walking the whole time,
breaking down
you don't listen.
buildings and stuff is not an excuse. Those buildings are expensive and they mean a lot to a lot of people. But I understand at the same time that is frustration. You've made the journey and now you're here, and why won't you let me in?
So basically, we spoke. Is education a privilege or a right? And if it is free, is there a right way of? Can we do it in a fair way? And I think we spoke about those in depth.
I think we did touch on that.
And guys, would love to hear from you also.
What your thoughts are?
What are your thoughts on the topics we spoke about? And do you support the Fees Must Fall movement? Educate us as well. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We're on Facebook. We're on the Twitter. We'll put all our details.
Links in the description.
Look at you!
And she's already part of the show.
Where's the contract? Quick, fast.
If you can just sign here, and
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Just another show.
I can't sing. I need to sing the next one.